Hello everybody, I am getting ready to review the Snirt Stopper, so let's get started. I swear I did not plan this, but I was getting ready to show some of my obstacles here. And look at that. It seems like somehow or another a little guy is stopped, but then again he did get under the Snirt, so there is that. So maybe I'll demonstrate on the other side. Meanwhile, I think one of the harder parts for me was figuring out how tight to get everything. As you could see, I didn't do a great job. And on some of these I had a helper, some I did by myself. I almost feel like I did it better by myself, but I don't know. I think it's really difficult to get that seal real good, but hopefully it'll work out anyway. Another issue that I had is they tell you to start about 1/8 of an inch away from the corner. Well, it kind of makes it hard to know for sure if you actually got a good seal or if things are still going to get in those little crevices. Another issue that I had was when you put the screws in, if you're not careful with a power drill, the weather stripping can actually get pushed away and leave you with more problems than you started with. Lastly, on this side, they talk about the double protection, wearing 2 shirts. So, you know, admittedly, I can fine-tune some of this stuff later, but as you can see, I'm not 100% sure that there's not a few places that Snirt can't come in through here. And part of it is because I put extra double protection. I got a little threshold here that was helping me before I installed everything, and I also replaced the bottom seal, and it's extra thick and curvy, so lots of obstacles there. Darn. So one of my problems here is the garage itself just wasn't good to start with. There's a really big gap there, and every time I power washed, water would even get in through there. So a little bit of trial and error, and I'm not sure that I have this installed great, but what can you do? You know, you put your screw in 1/8 of an inch away, and you can't really start over, can you? Yeah, you already got a hole in your material. You got a hole in the weather stripping, so I think it's a one and done. You only get one chance to get it right. So that's the basics of that. Let's take a brief look at the inside. Now, one of my tricks was I looked for daylight, and sure, you can see some daylight, but it's you know, translucent. It's not transparent, so I think I did things right. Now at the top, there's extra light, but I just opted to put some more weather stripping right here to cover the gaping hole. So I'm hoping that works out well. Had more obstacles than advertised. My bottom seal, and it was easy to do, but I just had to loosen these screws to get the piece under it. They didn't talk about that. Now my second garage was in extra bad shape, so I had to reinstall everything you see here in white before I could even get started. But you know, in general, the same kind of hurdles. I'm not 100% sure I did things great, but certainly seems nice and warm and sealed here in the summer. look forward to seeing what it does in the winter. I probably did a worse job on the bottom here. And maybe I didn't even need the Snirt for this repair. I'm kind of proud of this work. As you can see, there is like no daylight coming through. Let's see, down in the corner you'll see the company logo and everything, which is great. In case anybody wants to look inside my garage, free advertising for them. They didn't quite have the foresight in my other garage. They put this thing so close to the edge that with all the excess, I actually cut it off. These screws here, they seem a little loose to me, but everything's holding. And then, you know, there's so many obstacles here that I'm not 100% sure that the seal is great, because the screw is practically 9 inches away from the edge there. So potential for things to happen there. One of the last tests I did was I stand far back and look for gaps underneath the bottom seal. And we've had issues for over 3 years, and I do have to say that everything seemed to settle into place, and now I am not seeing any sunlight underneath here where I previously did. I do have to say it is a very interesting product, and no regrets. I Googled around a bit, and it definitely seemed like it was the best thing around for what I need to do. And you know, I had even been in touch with my previous construction company, for example, and one of the secretaries there sounded very interested in doing this herself too. So, you know, even professionals and acquaintances, friends, they all seem very interested in what this product has to offer. You know, had I gone online and rated it, you know, I mean, it's almost a 5, but I probably would have put a 4 or 4.5, anything I could do to get their attention, so people actually just read it and see my constructive criticism. Yeah, the price, it seemed a little pricey compared to the materials to frame out my garage and everything. I think it was approximately the same. So, but then again, it'll save me lots of issues in the future. So, well worth it overall. But when you get $500 worth of material in a tiny little box, it's just a little disappointing that way. But again, probably the best product that I can get for this type of situation, and I do fully recommend people to purchase it. Just potentially hit up the customer support, do a lot of pre-planning, because again, I think you only get one chance to get it right.